Hello, everyone. Welcome to Voices of Vision. Our guest today is Sachin Thakur, a communication skills coach who has taught over 10,000 students to speak with confidence. He's been a speaker on Josh Talk and has been invited to speak on TEDx. So, by the time this episode releases, we will already be having a TEDx speaker. So, let's welcome Sachin. Welcome, Sachin. Thank you
Hi,
for being on
Shruti.
this show.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be here and to be able to share my story, share some tips on communication skills, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So let's do it.
Absolutely, Sachin, but we are not looking at tips. We are looking at more of your vision. So, my first
Sure,
question to you would be what made you become a communication coach?
absolutely. I'm all set. I'm all in.
So, tell me, what made you become a communication coach?
What made me become communication skills coach is my own insecurity, my
Okay.
own struggle, and my own invisibility. You know, Growing up, I was the most shyest, underconfident kid you would have ever met. And believe it or not, every single time I used to go to parties or any events, I used to lock myself in the bathroom so I don't have to talk to people.
Oh my God,
Right?
that's a great journey then.
Yeah, I mean, I hated, I shouldn't say this word, it's a strong word, but I hated being around with people. And I thought that if they talk to me, I will be exposed, my insecurity will be exposed because there were few insecurities that I had in my childhood that I was not very good looking, fair looking. My height was low, right? And I wouldn't speak properly. And English was a biggest trouble for me, right? So I thought, okay, if I go in front of them, they will make fun of my height, they will make fun of the way I look, they will make fun of my studies and everything. So I just couldn't face people. And that insecurity kicked in really, really hard when I came to Delhi in 2017 with a lot of dreams, hopes, and expectations. And whether you believe it or not, my dream job was to work in a call center, right? So
Oh,
for anybody who's working in BPO, huge respect. There's nothing wrong with that, but that was something which I was my dream job, right? And for that, I went for multiple job interviews, but I got rejected from each and every one of them. The reason because I couldn't communicate effectively. The reason because I didn't have the personality or the speaking skills that they were looking for, right? And I was just frustrated with rejection after rejection, rejection after rejection, and I was like, I'm gonna quit. And there was a time, Shruti, in my life, there was a moment in my life where I thought I was going to give up and go back to Bihar, right? And then I thought, okay, if I give up and go back to Bihar, then I'm not going to have a story to tell.
absolutely.
And one of the biggest mental frameworks that has changed my life forever is I am my own story, right?
Amazing.
One day, people are going to talk about me. People are going to talk about my story. And I am going to share my story in big platforms like Joe Stocks and TEDx. So, having those inspirations in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. I am going to work on my communication skills. And then my mom had gifted me a phone and she had taken some loan from somebody to give me a phone. And that was very nice of her, actually. Um, I started learning English with that phone. I used to watch YouTube videos. I used to watch podcasts. So I'm such a huge fan of podcast, right? That podcast was the first thing that taught me how to speak in English properly. Because every single time I used to watch the podcast, I used to be very inspired. I used to observe. I used to pay very close attention on the body language and the tonality and every aspect of it. So that's how I started really improving a lot, right? And then eventually I got a job in an NGO as an executive, and then I used to teach English. After that job, I used to work in a job where I used to go at 8 a.m. in the morning and I would go back from that job at 4 p.m. So 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And after 4 p.m., I would go to these NGOs and teach English as a volunteer, absolutely for free because I wanted to improve, right? So that's where the journey started. And when I was in the NGO, there were very some few of the kind people who really helped me a lot on my journey of improving my English communication and confidence. And every time I used to go to these places, Shruti, I used to observe people that they were having certain lifestyle, they were speaking certain tone, They were speaking, they were eating certain food, they were wearing certain dresses, and I was like, can I do that one day? Right?
Awesome.
So I started having these dreams that one day I want to wear that dress. One day I want to speak like her or him. One day I want to conduct such sessions, and one day I want to go to America. And 30th July 2019 was the day when a guy from a small village in Bihar who failed in multiple job interviews, who was bullied, who was underconfident, who was made fun of, made it to America.
Amazing.
Right.
I mean,
So
that's a story.
right. So I went to America. It was a scholarship, and I was one of the very lucky ones who got the chance to apply for the scholarship. And I'm very grateful for it and the kind of help I got from people who helped me in my journey. And I will always be forever grateful for them. So yeah, I mean, the problem which I faced in my own life, the pain that I went through, I had this mission that I wanted to change my pain into purpose, right? The kind of pain which I went through of not speaking well, of being bullied, of being shy, introverted, underconfident. I wanted to change that pain into my purpose and my wins. And when I got back from the US, I was like, okay, let's do it. I started my own channel called English with Sachin. I started posting contents on English and communication skills. And it's been almost 5 years now, and I'm very grateful for the journey that it's been 5 years, and I've taught thousands of students and working professionals communicate effectively and help them crack the job interviews and get the promotion, which I could not get.
Absolutely. So
Right?
true. So true.
Yeah.
I mean, your journey is like a guy from Bihar, which is one of the states in India where everybody thinks, oh, Bihar and English can never
Yeah.
go hand in hand.
True.
To going to America and then being a communication skills coach is like so inspiring. I mean, I have grown in Bengal, and I remember when I used to go to Mumbai for my family functions and things like that, or even just to stay with the relatives. They also used to feel Kolkata se hai. Definitely, she can't speak English, but
Yeah.
I was studying in a convent, and I realized that that had an impact that how your English grows. But of
Mm.
course, when you're sitting in front of me, I'm also feeling a little stuttered that I may say something which is not correct, maybe grammatically or maybe by pronunciation. So amazing. I mean, you must have made your family so proud. You must have made your people in Bihar specifically so proud. So, what's the
Absolutely.
journey over there?
I am very grateful for the God that what He has gifted me with, right? And talking about how my family is proud of me, yes, they are really proud of me because I am coming from a place where they did not have any expectation of me, right? Now, everybody who's watching right now, they might be thinking, okay, he's from Bihar, but he must have studied from CBSE board. No, my friends, I have studied from Hindi Bihar board,
Oh,
right? So anybody who's watching right now from Bihar, Jharkhand, Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana, any city or any state where you study from Hindi or your own vernacular language or your own language medium, I can tell you, you can still speak English fluently. And when I started speaking English fluently, there were two kinds of people. There were one kind, Joe, who were very motivated, who were very proud of me, who were like, wow, go ahead, I'm with you, you got this, you can achieve all your dreams. And other kind of people, they were like, bada American ban raha hai, look at him, English jhar raha hai, right? So I used to hear all these things, right? And that used to trouble me, but it doesn't trouble me anymore. I don't give a shit about it now. But that time it used to trouble me, and I used to focus on the positives. And talking about making my family proud, I always wanted to do that, right?
okay.
I was 3 years old when my dad passed away,
I'm so sorry.
and my mom has been a warrior since then, and she has done everything that she could possibly do. And if I'm here, only because of her. And alongside mom, there are few more people who've always helped me, who always shown me the path, and since the very beginning they always have been there for me, and I always wanted to make them proud. My nana nani, my mama, my masi. So after my dad passed away, I shifted to my nani ghar, and they have done everything for me and my mom. So when I was a kid, I used to see this dream that one day I will make my mama proud. I will make my nana proud. I will make my mom proud. And I used to dream, there will be a day where right now they know that I am his bhanja, I'm his nati, I'm his son, her son. But there will be a day where they will say, she's
Dear.
Sachin's mom, right? Or he's Sachin's mama. And I'm so grateful that I have been able to achieve at certain extent, because when I went to America, everybody in my village was talking about me and my family, right? And the kind of work that I'm doing right now, by the God's grace, teaching people communication skills. People do talk about me in my village, and my mama and nana and my mom, everybody in my family, when they're out and they hear my name, they feel very proud. So something which I've dreamed of as a kid, and that has become a reality for me. That is the definition of success to me, and I'm very happy and very grateful for the same.
Amazing. Sachin, I had so many questions in my mind, about your journey, but I don't think I will have any other question to ask, at least about your journey, because you've really explained it so well. And, you've clearly explained it in a way where people will feel proud when they are watching this podcast or listening to it, because you are giving that inspiration that, yes, you can do it
Absolutely.
because you have done it. So tell me, I understand you realized your path, you realized your journey, but what was that one major influence in your life that made you come on this journey? That one event, one incident that that you can't still forget. Maybe you are not feeling pain about it, but at that point it was a big pain in your life.
There were many incidents in my life that really made me who I am today. But there was this one incident that inspired me, motivated me to go after my goals and dreams and do something special for my mom. This the event that happened when I was in the sixth standard, right?
Okay.
And my English teacher came up to me and they said, Sachin, read this text out loud in English, right? And I was horrible in English. I couldn't even read a few paragraphs, right? So when he gave me the paragraph to read, I started like, oh, there once U P O N upon A T I am time. I used to read like this, right? So I was the weakest student in my class in English language, and my teacher got so mad at me that he slapped me in front of everyone, the entire class, and he did not stop there. He called my mom up to the school. And in front of my mom and the principal and other parents, he started saying that your son will never ever speak English. Your son will never get ahead in his career because his English bahut gandi hai. His English is really bad. He will never ever get ahead in his career. And my mom, being a single mom, she started crying. She broke down. Ever since my dad passed away, she always wanted to make me a better person. She wanted to give me good education, and she wanted me to do well in my life. And when she heard that my own teacher is saying that I cannot do anything in my life and I will fail, that I will never be able to speak English well, she broke down and she lost the faith in me. And then she went home, and when I went home as well after the school, and she's like, Sachin, what were you doing in school? You know what I'm doing for you. You know the kind of pain that I'm going through these days. How could you do that? And I told her, Mom, I promise you that day will never come again. I will work really hard on my English, and not only my English but also my personality and my life, that I'll make you proud one day and I'll make you the proudest mom in the world.
So,
And that was the incident that changed me. Even if I was just in the sixth standard, I was a kid, but that incident still shakes me. And then I started working really hard on my English. I used to borrow, whether you believe it or not, I used to borrow English, a book from my friends to learn English, and I had to give them back because I couldn't afford to buy English books or grammar books or translation books. And then I started working hard on it, and I used to see people speak English. I was like, wow, maybe I can do that like that one day. So when I came to Delhi in 2017, I saw people speaking English very fluently and confidently, and I got more inspiration. I started working really, really hard, and eventually I started improving. And then when I was going to America, when eventually the day when I got the confirmation that I was going to America, I called my mom and said, Mom, you know what? I've got it.
Awesome. I mean, I'm sure she must have been so proud at that
Yeah.
moment.
And I was like, I've got it, mom. I'm going to America. She's like, nah, you're kidding. I'm like, trust me, I'm going to America. And then she broke down.
Of
Then
course.
she reminded me of that incident that I remember when you were in sixth standard, how bad you were in English. And now you're going to America. It couldn't get better, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm very grateful for the journey that I was such an ordinary kid coming from absolutely nowhere, knowing nothing, and where I've got today is all because of God, all because of my mom. What the kind of sacrifices my mom has made for me, it's just unbelievable, unparalleled. Because she was very young. Imagine, she was just 22 years old. My mom was just 22 years old when my dad passed away.
Oh my God, that's like not even the age when today women are getting married. It's
Right.
more like 27, 28, 30 that
Right.
it's
And she
happening.
had the option. She did have the option of getting married again. And why wouldn't she? But she didn't because of me. Because she told everyone that I cannot share Sachin's love with anybody else.
Wow.
So now, as a grown up kid, as an adult, I'm trying my best to provide anything and everything for her. Every
Absolutely.
single time she needs something, and the moment it comes out of her mouth, I'm like, done, go get it. So everybody who's watching and listening us right now, I want to tell them that your family, especially your parents, if you have mom and dad, if you have both, you're very lucky. Even if you have one, you're lucky. Do something special for them. Do something special for your mom and dad, because what our parents do for us, it's just unimaginable the kind of pain that they go through, right? And every time I'm down, every time I feel like I don't want to work, I'm like, shut up, man. Go and do the work. What your mom has done for you is just incredible, and you cannot pay her back. So I'm trying my best to do everything possible to make her life better, less painful, and more enjoyable. You know.
Absolutely. I am so sure she is so proud of you. I feel like bowing my head down for her being such a great mom. It's said like, mother is the first teacher of a child, and she is one of the mothers who's definitely proved it. Being the teacher, being the support. uh, I don't know, I'm sure you're aware of that story about Einstein, right? Where his mother supported him, and he became Einstein. It's a
Yes,
similar feeling that I could get, that that's the kind of support that parents give to their children for them to move where they can be. And
absolutely.
there's no boundary, no limitation. So, understanding all that you said, tell me, Sachin, what is the mantra of your life?
To me, I follow certain values, right? And the biggest value for me is family, right? I believe whatever I have been able to achieve so far is because of my mom and the aspiration of doing something special for my family. Because
Awesome.
I grew up in a house where I couldn't afford English grammar books, so I had to borrow from my friend to learn English.
Yeah.
I grew up in a family where I could not go to functions because I couldn't afford to wear good dresses. And whether you believe it or not, until 2019, I could not get new dresses on Diwali and Chhat Puja.
Oh
Right?
my God.
Yeah, so I'm kind of from that kind of family. But having that mindset, कि, okay, I want to change this. When I grow up, I want to change it. I want to bring happiness, success, the moments, the beautiful moments in my family's life. And as now I'm able to do so, I'm genuinely grateful that I have been able to do many things for my family, not only for my mom, but for the kids in my family, their education, their dreams, what they want, my nana and nani. I'm trying my best to provide anything and everything possible I can do. So for me, nothing, absolutely nothing is more important than family. What
Absolutely.
I am, who I am today, what I have been able to achieve is because of the inspiration from my family. People say, you know what, Sachin, who inspires you? Where do you see the inspiration? I'm like, now I don't have to go anywhere. My family is my inspiration. My mom is my inspiration. So I look up to her. I look up to my family that I want to do something special for them.
Absolutely. Your family is your superhero, and
Yes.
that has placed you to where you are today, which makes me feel that, we who have parents are so privileged that, at least, even like you said, even if it is one parent, we are so privileged that we have their support
Yes.
to do what we want to do in life, and without boundaries, without thinking anything could go bad, they're still there. Like, I have kids, and I always tell them this one thing, that whatever it is, I'm there to support you. You take risk, you try, you do anything that you want to do. Don't stop yourself. And I think that's exactly what your mother has done for you. Try, do everything, but don't stop yourself. So tell me, what made you go to America? That was a dream that you had. So what made you go
Yes.
to America?
So as mentioned that I was teaching English in these few NGOs, right? And in couple of the NGOs, they had this opportunity that they would give to the volunteers to apply for the scholarship, right? So I was one of the volunteer English teachers there, right? So I worked really hard in these NGOs and go and teach English, and not only teach English, but also I was involved in the multiple activities, multiple projects, and that's why they have seen a potential in me, which I'm very, very grateful for them. There were some people who just literally fought for me, literally, you know, fought and literally helped me and supported me in any way possible, right? So this NGO would provide opportunities to apply for the scholarship. So anybody could apply who, came into that, category, and I was one of them because I was one of the volunteer teachers who was very active, who was very passionate also in teaching and mentoring people and being in other projects of the NGO as well. So I happened to apply for the scholarship. Initially, I was not very confident. I was like, I don't know what to do, what to choose. Yes, I had the dream because when I joined those NGOs, I used to see people going to America. I was like, these people are just like me, right? And maybe I can do. If they can do, why can't I? One mental framework that got me where I'm today, Shruti, is curiosity. Is thinking, okay, if that guy, if that girl has done it, why can't I? They're not so special. I mean, so I'm also not special, but I can try. Maybe if they have achieved certain goals, if they have made it to America, I can do it too, right? So coming back to the story point, I applied for this scholarship, was not very confident, but I did it anyway. And whether you believe it or not, I did not have my own laptop to fill the form for the application.
Oh
Oh
my
God.
God, that's a journey. I mean,
Uh,
really a journey.
there was this gentleman, and I would love to take his name. His name is Aklesh, and I call him Aklesh Bhaiya. He was very kind to give me his laptop to fill the form. So I called him at 11 p.m. Ki Bhaiya, deadline is day after tomorrow, and I need to get it done. So he was very kind to call me to his place. He told me, okay, come to my place and we'll do it together. I filled the form and then applied for it. And then they had this multiple, steps. First, your form has to be selected by the NGO. It got selected. Then I went for the interview at American Center. And the funny incident happened at the American Center as well. We were like seven of the candidates who were waiting, right? Six of them got into American Center for the interview. And I was the only one who had to wait. Why? Because my name was not matching to the name they were expecting for the interview. So my name was Sachin Kumar Thakur in the application form, and the Aadhaar card I had was Sachin Kumar only, right? So I waited for 2 hours. I literally started crying. I was like, God, my dream is gonna be shattered if they do not let me in. If they do not let me do the interview, how will I go to America? And I'm really grateful that they were very kind to let me in after all the interviews. After those six people came out of the interview, then they eventually called me. Right, so these funny things kept happening in my life, and then eventually I went for the interview. I was really nervous, very nervous, and ma'am asked me, Sachin, are you nervous? I was like, yes, I'm nervous. And she appreciated the honesty. Because if I had been very overconfident, oh, come on, I'm not nervous, look at me, I'm an English teacher, blah, 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 she would have rejected me immediately. Right? So, and then that was the first interview. Then again, the passport thing was impending. As I told you, my name was Sachin Kumar Thakur in my 10th certificate and application, but my name was on the Aadhaar card was Sachin Kumar. So I had to get it changed. But before getting it changed, I had already applied for the passport. And guess what? It got rejected. Why? Because of the name. Certificate paid was Sachin Kumar Thakur and my Aadhaar card was Sachin Kumar. So how can they choose me for the same? So they rejected it. And I
Oh.
remember that day, it was in Delhi Parparganj, passport office. I remember exactly, Parparganj passport office.
Mhm.
After my application got rejected of the passport, I came downstairs in the building and I started thinking, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna give up? Am I gonna say, okay, I'm not interested in going to America, I'm gonna let my dream go? Or am I gonna make another effort? And I was like, Sachin, one last time, bro. One last time. Let's try it. So guess what? I went home back. I worked on those papers, Aadhaar card ka naam change karwana and stuff. I got that changed. I applied for the passport again, and then eventually I got my passport after 15 days.
Awesome.
Right? And then there was one more interview happened. Then there was medical and stuff. In even medical also. When I went for the medical, Shruti, you won't believe. In medical, everything was perfect. But the guy, the doctor, was asking 15,000 extra rupees to get the medical report right. Even if it was right, report was absolutely right,
Oh
but he was
my.
asking extra 15,000 because I told him I will be going to America. And of course, I was working in a job 6,000 rupees a month. I couldn't afford even 5,000 that time. And I was shattered yet again. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. Then eventually I went to another hospital, right? There is a hospital in Safdarzang in Delhi. I went there. And then I told them the situation. There was very this kind guy who helped me and they did the TB test again and everything. And I was absolutely perfect. Right? And then eventually I went to America. So this was this journey that people don't even know about.
Absolutely. And so many roadblocks, and still you achieved it. That's the inspiration that people will get when they hear this. And that's what, that will make them do what they want to do and actually not give up. Because that's the biggest challenge. I also feel that, we tend to give up. And, winners are always the people who don't give up. And you
Yes.
are definitely a winner. That's why you went to America and not the others who think and then they just leave it out because of some roadblock.
Right.
So amazing, amazing, Sachin. I mean, this is so inspiring. Trust me, I had so many questions, but I am just running out of questions, thinking that you've explained it so beautifully that I have nothing more to ask. But still, I would want you to tell me something that you would like our audience to hear or know. Already, everything is very inspiring. But a one liner, two liner, something that, that could keep the audience feeling that, okay, yes, motivation is coming from here, inspiration is coming from here.
Sure. Thank you. I want to say something what my mentor Neha Bhavi has taught me. She's a mentor to me, she's a mom to me, and I always take her name in every single podcast because what she has done for me, I will never forget and I will always be grateful for. She told me one day, Sachin, I know that you have potential. I know you will grow in your career and you will achieve heights. And when you achieve the heights, do not forget the people who helped you achieve those heights.
Awesome.
Always stay humble and be grateful. And that was one of the mental frameworks, that was one of the suggestions or the advice from my mentor that I still carry and I will always carry for the rest of my life. There were moments when I started getting some success, it got to my mind. It did get to my mind. I'm telling you, I'm very young, I'm accepting, I'm confessing it. But again, I had to go back and think of the advice that I got from a mentor. Always help people, always respect and thank people and appreciate people for what they have done for you and to you. So every single time I go to a podcast and give a speech, I always thank my mentor. And one thing also what she has taught me is the attitude of gratitude, which I want everybody to follow. What do I mean by that? Many a times in our life we have a lot of things. We have good food, we have a wonderful family, beautiful partner, whatever it is, but still we complain. We still compare. We go on social media and check, oh, you know what, wow, wow, she got this many likes. Oh, look at her body, look at his body. Oh my god, he's just traveling all over the world. And guess what? You have done the same, but still you are complaining, you are cringing, you are, you know, doing all these negative things. So she has also taught me that, Sachin, always be grateful for what you already have. And she also told me this quote that if you're always grateful for what you already have, you will always get more things to be grateful for, right? So the
Absolutely.
true thing which I've learned from my mentor Neha Bhabe is, first, stay humble. You will achieve heights, successes, all the things in your life. Stay humble. Do not forget the people who were there for you when you were nothing. And yes, I was absolutely nothing when these mentors, these people were there in my life.
Absolutely.
And every time I get an opportunity to talk to them, my first sentence is thank you. Thank you for what you've done for me. Right?
Absolutely.
And number two is gratitude. Every single time I can tell you, Shruti, from the last almost 7.5 or almost 8 years, if there is one habit that I have been applying every single morning, is gratitude. In spite of the challenges or the ups and downs in my life and business and work, whatever it is, I'm always grateful. And I believe that gratitude is the ladder to happiness, right? I mean, I always believe that happiness comes from success. I always believe that. But now, what I believe is that success comes from happiness. And happiness comes from being grateful for what you already got.
So
Right?
true.
So,
So
right now, I'm grateful for the energy that you're giving me. I'm grateful that I have gotten a platform where I can share my story. I'm grateful that you have been such a wonderful listener throughout the podcast. Thank you so much for being a great podcaster, great listener, and you have asked wonderful questions. Really, I do mean that.
thank you so much, Sachin, because I am so grateful for you to being here and, inspiring our audience, giving them that motivation, giving them that key to success, giving them the key to happiness, because everybody, happiness and success is very subjective. But
Absolutely.
understanding that one important key of gratitude is something which can take their lives to the next and next and next level. And when you were saying, I realized that even I am so grateful for everything that happens in my life on a daily basis, that this has become so much a part of me. It's not that I have to really think to do so. I understand that once things are a part of you, it's just like it's you, nothing else,
Right.
nothing needs to change.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, Sachin, having you here on the podcast. I would One last question that I would want you to answer is, where would our audience find you if they want to connect with you, or if they want to get into a program that you're offering? Where could they find you?
Sure. Thank you for asking that. So I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere as English with Sachin. English with Sachin is my name, where you can find on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And on LinkedIn, I'm Sachin Thakur Communication Coach, right? So if you want to connect with me, or if anybody wants to connect with me and my team, they are more than welcome to come to our pages and follow our content. And I'm sure when they come to our page, they will love it and they will learn a lot from us. I can guarantee that for sure.
Great. Thank you so much, Sachin, for a wonderful interview, for such inspiring and insightful and funny stories. Why funny? Because, of course, with so many roadblocks, you could still
Yeah,
achieve what you wanted to achieve. Otherwise, at those point of time, I'm sure it was not funny for you.
it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, but today you can sit back and laugh, saying that, oh, this happened, oh, that happened.
Yeah,
And it feels like, oh, God, so many roadblocks and why.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing, and thank you. And definitely, your story is from a Indian boy who is from Bihar, going all the way to America, which is like a great positive insight for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me on the podcast, Shruti. Thank you very much.
Thank you.